gonna love this.
I want to hear it. I'm objective. You're critical.
Anico at the disco.
He's positive. Join the Mixtape 615.
Today, tomorrow, yesterday,
It is the dopest supporter group in all of Nashville.
forever. Testing. 1, 2, 3. This is a Mixtape 615 podcast, and this right here, right now, is the place to be. If you're a Nashville Soccer Club fan, woohoo, or you're just trying to see what's going on with them boys in gold, and I invite you to lock in with us really quick like. Now, you know who it is. I was gone last week, and I saw y'all got up to some shenanigans, so let me bring back the AKAs.
That was
do it
2 weeks ago, my friend.
I'm gonna do it in style, okay? All right. Last week, 2 weeks ago, I don't look. It's your boy, Tunji, aka Young Turtle, D Soccer Face, SF Doom, the Big Kahuna, munching on a little tuna sandwich, a DR kid, affectionately known as Steam Papi, Yamame por favor. And on any given Wednesday, I be sitting at the countertop, at the bar countertop at Southside Kitchen and Pub, sipping on half-off whiskeys. I just keep telling them, just keep passing them. I'm gonna be here all night until you kick me out. Why? Because it's half-off whiskey night at Southside Kitchen and Pub. AKA Mississippi Mai Tais on this beach in Belize, feeling cool like a summer breeze. The dude walking down Broadway with the cleanest pair of Nikes that you ever did see. The golden boy with the golden voice, Chicago Mike, the Glizzy Gladiator, and a newly minted Jude Bellingham believer. It is a Mixtape 615 podcast once again. Austin, can you tell them who you are, man?
What's up, guys? My name is Austin, a.k.a. Wildman, a.k.a. Ginger Snap, a.k.a. The Fumbling Dublin, a.k.a. Cheeky Parm Parm, a.k.a. Red Beard, and in honor of my wife and the Olympics being held in Paris, I've got the Eiffel Tower sitting right behind me tonight. So we are going and rolling with that. Logan, tell them who you are.
Well, you guys know who it is. It's Logan, a.k.a. Beer Main, a.k.a. the artist formerly known as Summer Sam. As school started back up, I am
so sad
again, Mr. C. So pour one out for me. A.k.a. Mr. Roboto.
Cheers.
And this is the Mixtape 615 podcast, brought to you by the Mixtape 615 supporter group, the dopest supporter group in all of Nashville and all of soccer, in all the Olympics, and all the world.
Ooh.
You know, you want to jump in, you want to run this pitch with us, because we are the only ones running this pitch at this moment. And you want to jump in with us, just go to mixtape615.com. That is mixtape615.com, and jump in and run this pitch with us this year. Now, we've got a lot of news coming from around the world. Leagues Cup has already started. Katie Ledecky killing it in the swimming world. Simone Biles winning gold again. The men's team scoring 4 goals against New Zealand. It is an insane time in sports right now.
What was it, Guinea, right?
Yeah, 3 goals against Guinea. It's a great time to be a sports fan in the world, as we've had a parkour running of the torch to Lady Gaga dancing in some kind of pink and black shorts. It was amazing. Like, this whole time, just a great time to be around when it comes to sports. But we do want to bring it all the way back to Nashville, because we have some discussions. We've got a brand new coach that has already started. He is now 9 days in to his coaching tenure. 6 as of recording, 6 training sessions in, and we've got 2 new players that have come on to the scene as well in the what do they call him? The Fox, Patrick Yazbek, the Fox.
He's the dingo, for all I know.
Yeah, well, we're about to find out what the Fox
He's
says.
from Australia.
We're about to find out what the Fox says, at least on the field. And then we also have Jonathan Perez coming in from LA Galaxy on loan. There's a lot of new in Nashville, and we definitely want to get into it. So, Austin, without further ado, start us off, my friend.
I'll do the starting off. I'll do the starting off. Once again, you skip over me and you give Austin my segment. Is this the relationship we have?
Is this not the BJ segment to start?
It's not,
new
bro.
signings.
We're talking
We want
about
to talk new signings first. We want to talk about our new boys before our new boy.
Yeah. We're gonna talk about why Jonathan Perez is even on this team right now. And it's because we lost Tyler Boyd in that gruesome season-ending injury in Orlando. So in response, Mike
with
Jacobs,
Orlando. Yeah.
Well, in response, Mike Jacobs, he did Mike Jacobs-y things. Went and found himself a MLS Next Pro player, in Jonathan Perez. He's kind of killing it down there, but like I don't know, man, bringing him up from MLS Next Pro to replace Tyler Boyd. Maybe he gets more production because Tyler Boyd was having a rough go of it before before his season ended, unfortunately. But I just he's using a lot of the same words, right? Like dynamic, attacking. Same thing he was saying for
Tyler Boyd,
Tyler Boyd, Patrick Yazbek, Drew Yearwood. Hearing the same things, but I don't know. I don't want to spend too long on Jonathan Perez. I'm not as excited about him as I am on Patrick Yazbek. Yeah, the Fox. So I mean, like Logan, can you give me? Actually, no, Austin, can you give me like 3 pros to this guy right now?
To Yazbek?
Yazbek.
Or was this okay? I think he's got experience. He's played for Australia's national team, both with the U23 and the senior national team. And anytime you get called up for your country, regardless of what country it is, I think that speaks to your skill level. So I think he's got some experience there that some of our players don't have. He is an attacking center mid, which is something that we've needed. We've got Hani, but outside of that, we don't really have that go-getter, that attack on the front. And so with what BJ Callaghan is wanting to do, we saw his press conference. He's wanting to kind of shift the mentality a little bit of Nashville to more attacking. And I think that he's going to do a better job than what we heard Gary Smith say at the beginning of the season. So I think that he's got a little bit more experience having success with an attacking mindset team. So with that, I think that that Patrick Yazbek's play does complement that style. But we'll see where he fits in. I think right now, I don't think that he's a starter. I think that he's a sub. I think that this was a depth move. I don't think that it was somebody who's going to come in and start immediately. I think that he might be somebody who, though, can push our starters. So that there's a positive there.
Interesting. So I mean, it's kind of like you're starting to see like the foundations of BJ Callaghan's, Brian Jericho Callahan's castle being built here at Geodis.
I know. Don't call him Jericho and then say a castle being built. We all know what happened with the walls of Jericho.
Wow, that's crazy.
Hey, we've already been around that 7 times before you got here. So,
it, bro, we've seen it. We've seen the walls come down at Geodis, bro. Don't worry about it. Logan, you think? So just going on that move again. This is another Mike Jacobs signing. Another Mike Jacobs. Obviously, this was done for BJ, but this is largely the way I see it, a Mike Jacobs kind of find and a Mike Jacobs push. Do you think that this, we're going to talk about BJ and his his philosophy here in a bit, but do you think, Logan, that this signing is signaling a move right now or in the future to like a more possession based or attack oriented approach for Nashville SC, which is what I've always wanted, more possession. That's me.
So I think we're making a Pac-12 move. Even though the Pac-12 is moving out of college football, this is kind of what it is. It is let's see how many points we can score while we're getting scored on. And so it is going to be an aggression style move. But Mike Jacobs now, I mean, he's making these moves because his job is truly now the next hot seat. You have Gary Smith, who was the first gone, right? Now BJ's coming in. He's giving a guy who's never had a shot. And if it doesn't work out, then Mike Jacobs is the next one on the chopping block, along with I'm sure BJ and whoever. So he's trying to make moves that he thinks will best shore up our seat at the table. He's trying to make moves to make sure that he stays in a controlling side and that we continue to have winning seasons. It does not look like that's where we're heading this year. And again, like Austin has talked about and alluded to off mic as well as on mic, it is gonna be a couple years before we see the real actions and understandings of what BJ Callaghan's bringing in. So I think these guys are going to be some death moves. I think these guys are going to make some moves early when it comes to how we play aggressively. I'm interested to see how this goes. But yeah, I am a Yazbek fan. I mean, if anything, he's from Liverpool, so we're good with that.
Australia.
Liverpool is still Liverpool.
He's
Australia.
from Liverpool,
Up the
New
Reds.
South Wales, Australia. Do not put that Liverpool. Get that out of here. But
Hey, I'll say this: the first
about
football team I was ever a part of was the Vikings, and he played for Viking.
Wrong,
In the Elite
wrong
Series.
Vikings.
I'm not impressed.
I'm making the connections, man. We're here. I'm for him.
You're crazy, man. Austin, hit me with the most impressive thing about this particular individual, about Patrick, about the signing. What is the most impressive thing that like sort of fans of the team can use to just kind of hang on to, because this might be our guy for the next couple years.
Most impressive thing is he's a very versatile midfielder, both offensively and defensively. I think his career trajectory, it's like it shows a promising future. So we'll see, just with some continued growth, what that looks like, the impact expected that we expect here in Nashville, and also seeing what he might do for his country internationally as well.
Man, I respect that, but I mean, for me, it's just the engine on this kid, dude. Like, he literally, they brought him on, and the biggest stat that I saw around him was like he covers like something like 7.56 whatever miles per game, and that already makes him like the top,
like
top
a mile
10
and a
MLS.
half, like a mile and a half or 2 miles more than Alex Morrill, and that's saying something.
Yeah, well, Alex.
Honestly,
Alex,
it kinda
he doesn't
is.
always have to. He doesn't have to run that hard because he's always where the play is happening. He's not always doing the right stuff, but he's there.
I've said it. I've said the exact same thing, Tunji. I've said the exact same thing.
But I don't respect your respect for Alex, the chaos god. All right, I got one more question, and then we'll roll into the next one, man. Logan, dude, what is the worst thing about this signing, Patrick Yazbek? I'll tell you my worst thing off rip. It's the fact that he's worth half of Sam Surridge's salary. So
I was about to say it's the money. It's
the money.
We're already spending so much, man, and
yeah.
It hurts because we're spending money on guys who are not showing up in competition. We're spending money on guys who can't even make it to the competition because they keep getting injured. We are, man, it's almost like, I hate to say it, we're the Cleveland Browns right now of the MLS.
Whoa.
We're spending money on nothing.
Chill.
Or that, or the Indianapolis Colts, where we're spending money on everybody who's getting injured, like, or the Pittsburgh Steelers. Who's my team? We're wasting money on guys who are too old who need to get out.
I would say this. We definitely, this is definitely because of the money. Like, and he's not. I mean, he's played. Yes, he's got experience. But he's played like what 40, 50 games, in like the Australian League, which I'm sorry, man. I'm not impressed with that. I'm not like, I mean, he's got like 10 appearances, right, for the national
13.
team, and
13,
and then one for the senior,
13 for Viking.
Yeah, and then one for the senior team. Like, dude, look, I think he's got the talent. I think he's got talent. I think he's good. I think he's another big Mike Jacobs swing, and I'm hesitant to see where it goes, because Mike Jacobs has made big swings and missed on a lot.
I think the bigger swing is honestly Jonathan.
I think that this is basically, I mean, we talked about it with Shea whenever we talked about the summer transfer window and some of the new rule changes regarding rosters. this is a U22 or U23 player that we can spend money on. That's basically like a DP. So we're not going to see this hit against our cap because we get two or three of these. I can't remember.
For 1 year, right? Like he's 22 already, or he's coming in 22.
He's coming in.
But you talked about the money. We are spending the money, but it's at least not going against the cap
this year.
And it'll also count for next year because he doesn't turn 23 until next year, I think, if I remember right.
Next year when? Like, you know,
like it doesn't matter. He'll start the season. He'll start the season.
Yeah,
so the whole
he will start the season. So the whole season it will still be considered like a U22 DP.
If I remember the conversation right with Shay. Shay's obviously the expert with that, but
so we get a season and a half of him not like hitting against our salary cap,
which I think wasn't a bad move.
Okay, it's starting to make more sense
as far as financially.
It's starting to make more sense. We'll see how it plays out, but we're gonna talk about we're talking about Leagues Cup next, right?
No, we got BJ. We got to talk about his philosophy, things that he's coming in, because Leagues Cup does start soon, and I want to know what BJ really is going to do with this team to turn it around.
Hey, Mixtape 615, are you ready for the 2024 season? We want you to join us. Join our supporters group. It is the dopest supporters group in all of Nashville. So sign up right now at mixtape615.com and rock your 2024 membership scarf so you can show off and say, we run this pitch. Imagine standing on the field, feeling the energy of the game close up, all of the energy of the stadium. That's a reality for our members. You can get on-field opportunities, plus get access to our tailgates where you'll bond with fellow fans over great food, soccer passion, and don't miss out on our epic away game watch parties. So sign up now, mixtape615.com, and join for the 2024 season.
The words that I've been using with the players when we're on the training field and when we're talking about what our identity is we want to be a team that plays forward. We want to be a team that dictates tempo. All right. We want to be a team that plays free. Without the ball, we want to be a team that plays together, that's collective and connected, right? And at the end of the day, we want to be a team where everybody attacks and everybody defends, because that's what a team does. And we know that if we're able to do that together, we're able to have your support in the stands, right? And together we are better, and we will be better. We'll be able to basically attack any situation that comes at us.
All right. Well, that was BJ Callaghan when asked about the new philosophy that he's going to bring in, his coaching philosophy. And so it's exciting in the sense that we want him to say what he said. We'll see how it plays out on the field. But he did say,
you think that was exciting?
Well, I mean, it's a team that dictates the ball. We want to be the team that plays free without the ball. I mean, he's saying all the things that, you want to hear. But like I said, it's one of those, we want to see it on the pitch first. So we've got a Leagues Cup match that coming up that we'll see how it plays out. This is kind of his trial run, if you will. But I mean, he's wanting to shift the mindset to more of an attacking style. I mentioned that in the last segment. And like I said, he has had success at that. He had 0 losses as the interim head coach with the U.S. men's national team. I think it was Nations League that he won against Mexico with the U.S. national team as head coach. And so I think, or was it Gold Cup or Nations League, one of those. But either one, he did look good as an interim head coach. Now, I'm still skeptical about BJ Callaghan. I think he's saying the right things, but most coaches can say the right things before you get on the pitch. So, Tunji, what do you take from that short clip from his little welcome speech to the Nashville SC fans?
Man, vanilla. That's what I got for you. Plain Jane. This is what I expected, honestly. It's like the whole controlled aggression. Like, to me, this is all nice. I've heard all of that before from other Nashville head coaches.
At least one.
Well, I can't remember who it was that was the head coach of the Titans at the time. It might have been Mike Mularkey, and he came in with that whole what would you call it? The exotic smash mouth. Like I've heard all these phrases before, these buzzwords, and it doesn't. I'm sorry, man. Like I don't. I'm still not confident that this guy is able to take the reins and make a significant change within the next 6 to 12 months. Maybe after, I feel like, like probably after next season is when I'm just going to start like really believing in whatever Callaghan is trying to build. But the signings that they've made so far in Yazbek and the Jonathan Perez, yes, they signal some good things in terms of where he's trying to go. But you're trying to take a completely defensive team and then turn it into a possession high attack offense. Yeah, you got a long way to go. So all of that, all of those, the stuff he was saying in the I'm sorry, to me it's just words. I don't have much of a feeling.
I mean, Tunji, let's be real.
From it,
we haven't been much of a defensive team this year.
We've been all right. We've been all right.
7 losses in a row would beg to differ.
No, you're right.
I mean, 6 losses in a row.
Excuse me. 6 losses.
We've been really bad at set pieces. If he had talked about the set pieces more, maybe I need a definite plan for set pieces. That's what I need.
So yeah.
Now, from what I heard, this is just a 40-second clip that we just listened to. But the whole thing that he was, this whole welcome fan event that they did at the stadium, he talked a lot about development. He kept going back to academy. He kept going back to the reason why he hired this the assistant coach is because of his development of players. Like he keeps reverting back to that. So honestly, Tunji, I know you said this might be future. I don't think that he is completely shifting Nashville SC from a defensive team to an attacking team with 9 games left in the MLS season. I don't think we're going to see that.
No. You're right. I'm thinking like the amount of time this is because from what I'm hearing, this is not exciting. Like we're gonna win the MLS Cup and go back to champions and take our revenge against Inter Miami. This is not that. That's what we were hearing a year or two ago. That kind of energy. Now we're hearing we're talking about this is full on rebuild. It's gonna be a while before it's exciting again. And this plain Jane vanilla BJ Callaghan, man. He's that is what we're gonna get.
I gotta take on this.
Go ahead, man. I'm sorry. I'm not bagging on him. I'm not excited no more. I'm not excited. Okay. That was not an exciting news clip, an exciting way to roll out the new coach. Nothing about this is exciting. It's all just get back to brass tacks and redevelop and develop our youth, which we do need to do.
I want to go back to what he said. Now, of course, y'all didn't hear it in the clip. We heard a little bit more of it that Austin gave us, and you can go watch the interview. I know Speedway has posted it, Nashville's posted it. Everyone's got it out there somewhere. Yeah. But he mentions, calling it I call it a bit of controlled aggression, where we control the ball, but we want to disorganize the other team. We want to unbalance them, and then create goal scoring opportunities out of that. You know what that sounds like?
What?
That sounds like this middle name of Gary
Ball.
Brian Gary.
Gary here. Ball 2.0.
He's Gary Ball 2.0. That's honestly what it sounds like to me. Now here's the thing. I'm trying to give him benefit of the doubt. And honestly, we have nothing to go off of. So we really don't know. He's done it with better talent than what we have at our level, because not everybody on our team can make a national team. But it's just really want to know what he's doing. It sounds like Gary Ball 2.0.
I think it could be. However, I'm going to kind of shift us, because what more made me kind of like his philosophy, like the things that he said, and like Logan said, you can go and listen to the full interview, full press conference. But he talked about these next 9 games that we have in the MLS. Now I know we've got Leagues Cup. We'll talk about that in the next segment. But our last 9 games, he talked about it as if it's a group stage. Guys, the way that he's talking to the players about it is saying, this is our group stage. If we can do the right things in the group stage, not think about playoffs yet, let's work through these 9 games, 5 of which are against opponents that are basically right there with us in the table, like level or right around where we are placement-wise. So if you think about it that way, group stage, you got 5 games against people who are basically on par with you talent-wise, point-wise this year. I think that the way that he talked about that is actually a pretty cool way to usher us into these next 9 games. So it excites me a little bit more because then he's like, then we can look at knockout stage, which is the MLS playoffs. And so I'm a little more excited about the way that he approached it and the way that he's approaching these next 9 games. Logan, what are your thoughts on that, on the way kind of the viewing these next 9 games as our group stage?
Well, it depends on how long, we stay in my opinion, it depends on how long we stay in Leagues Cup. And right now, I don't know. And we'll talk about that in a second. But like, if we are gassed the way we were last year in Leagues Cup, then we're hurting ourselves for those next 9 games. That's just plain and simple. So it doesn't matter how much of a talk we want to say and how much of they're on our par. Well, guess what? When we were, starting to actually get a winning streak going, the worst team in the league ended up beating us at home. And then went on a streak.
And it started us on our losing
streak. And then, it started us, almost on our losing streak right then and there. And so it's just like, man, like as much as we want to say, we really, all we got to do is look at it this way. All we got to do is all we got to do is win. And that's what we have to do. And that's, again, I've said it before, BJ just has to create results. And he doesn't have that right now. Listen to me. He does not have that right now.
He doesn't have it right now because he hasn't coached a match yet.
He doesn't have it right now because we haven't gotten one. We haven't gotten a result in 7 games.
He hasn't
barely got a result.
He hasn't coached a match yet.
I understand. I'm not sitting here blaming him
not having a result because he hasn't coached yet.
I'm not sitting here blaming him and putting him.
He said he doesn't have it yet.
He doesn't have it yet because there's zero way that he's going to get it out of the squad that we've seen in the last 7 games. They are just sitting there with no energy. And I have yet to see anything out of anybody. Spare Anibal Godoy talking about how anybody is energetic into coming into this.
Well, we will see how it all plays out. Give us your thoughts on this. This is a topic that we are going to continue to address on this podcast. We are going to continue to look under the microscope at this BJ Callaghan philosophy, and we'll see how it plays out on the pitch. But we've got Leagues Cup starting this week. As of recording, it is tomorrow night that we start our group match against who is it?
Mazatlan.
How do we say it? How do we look at it? Mazatlan.
Hey, listen to me. Hey, dígame.
Okay.
Mazatlan.
There we go. All right. So we've got our group match as of recording tomorrow night. We're going to talk more about Leagues Cup in the next segment. So you guys want to stick around and we will see you after.
You guys know I be too lit on Wednesdays at Southside Kitchen Pub, but it does not have to be a Wednesday for you to get too lit with me at any of our away watch parties. Be sure to follow us on Instagram at Mixtape615 for all watch party information so you can get in the mix with us, me, Logan, and Ginger Snap. Let's go.
All right, everybody, we're back, and we are going to talk about the tournament that is here to stay, apparently, for the MLS. We're going to talk about Leagues Cup.
Logan's still boycotting because he's still butthurt about U.S. Open.
No. There's a difference between the MLS respecting the tradition and the people who brought them up and then not. And that's where I have the issue. I'm not the only one. There are several people who are boycotting them.
Oh my gosh, bro.
So there are several that are boycotting across the league.
Get into the segment, bro.
However,
goodness gracious.
I feel like there is a little bit of light, going into this tournament. And it is something to talk about. Anibal Godoy said in the pre-match presser leading up to Mazatlan that
you said it a lot better than I did.
This is where we have to rethink. This is where we have to mentally come back to the fold. This is where we have to mentally buy in, because at this point, everybody starts at 0 wins, 0 losses, because it's a tournament. It is not a league play. So this has no effect on the league. This is just where we need to be mentally in order to be able to play this match. Now, we play big against Mexico teams. Obviously, we all know, and you can see I do not have any flags behind me tonight. If you're watching on our YouTube, I'm not going to be putting up any of our Liga MX opponents tonight while we're still in Leagues Cup, because we play big against them, and I think that we could end up coming out big against them in this next match. I really do think that, but I need to know both of y'all's thoughts. So, Tunji, let's start with you. All right. I know you're Mr. Negative, and I think you're going to come at this in a negative way. Let me hear your thoughts on what we're going to do when it comes to Leagues Cup. In fact, we can even make this a bet. How far do you think we're going to make it into Leagues Cup? We want to hear your thoughts on it. So go ahead and start commenting down below while we listen to Tunji's thoughts on it here.
You remember a couple weeks ago in Copa America when a certain BJ Callaghan, assistantly led team got grouped?
I want to talk about it.
Well, I think we might be reliving that here in
to be fair, we didn't get grouped in the Olympics when it comes to USA. Different team. I know, but still.
Different team, different year.
I mean, same year, but still.
Yeah, but BJ Callaghan's not leading that team assistantly. He's not assisting that team. So I'm telling you, man, dude, I would be surprised, honestly, if, well, one, here's the reason why. The reason why I'm saying this, just go, like, we're gonna get grouped, whether that's because the players aren't good enough right now, or because that's a better strategy maybe overall from this team right now. It's just, hey, just take the month to rest. I think that this team just does not mentally have the gumption right now to get through a Leagues Cup run. The guys who experienced it last year know what that takes, know how emotionally, mentally, and physically taxing that is. And I think that what you can see from them in the past couple games is that they, like, I'm not going to say they don't care anymore. I think that's unfair to say. I feel like they're burnt out. Like, I think they've been through so much the past year, honestly. They've been losing for, let's be like, guys, Nashville SC, we have been losing for a year and change. All right, I think, and now we've got a new coach. He's coming in with a new philosophy. We got a few new guys. One of our guys who we thought was really going to help us out this year, Tyler Boyd, is super injured.
It's not just him. I mean, you got to look at the fact that we also have a season-ending injury, or at least it seems like a season-ending injury for our blondie in the back.
What, Lucas McNaughton?
Lucas McNaughton.
Yeah.
Looks like he's not coming back.
This is exactly what I'm saying. This is what I'm saying. Like, hey, if we're making bets, I would be the guy saying, hey, group stages, this opening group stages is Nashville's best bet right now. Take that bet, Nashville.
Okay.
All right, Austin, are you rolling with Tunji, or are you betting against his odds?
I'm going to bet against the odds, but I understand it is completely against the odds because I really want to see Nashville make a little bit of a run. I don't expect them to make the same run that they made last year. Nowhere close to that. However, anytime a team gets a new head coach, you see some little bit of spark of life. That is any sport where they've got something to play for, someone new, someone gives them a little bit more life. So I think that you might see that with Nashville with this team. But honestly, selfishly, I don't want us to like make it all the way through because of a lot of the things that Tunji said. It's mentally, it's physically taxing to make that long of a cup run in the middle of your league season. And so I want us to make maybe like, I don't know, can we get like halfway there? Because I want to see
semifinals or
something like that.
That's asking a lot.
Semifinal, quarterfinal, something like that, where I want to see us make it past this group stage and maybe a match or two after that, more to create chemistry and try out new things with BJ because I think our best shot of any kind of silverware this year is making a playoff run. And if there's a chance that we can get some sort of chemistry, spark, anything with a little short Leagues Cup run, then I'm here for it.
Well,
yeah,
it is. Go ahead, Tunji.
I feel you. I definitely do, but I'm not. I don't want to clarify. I'm not saying that Nashville should gracefully or whatever bow out in the group stages. I'm saying this is. When I look,
you're being
at all
realistic.
Factors,
honestly,
you're
you're being realistic.
Super realistic. I'm being super realistic. But because think about it, like the path to semifinals, there's whether we win or lose, whoever we have to face next, in the way that they've seeded this tournament, and it's a little complicated. But if you look at the bracket, the way that we, if we win in our E5 group, then we have to play the who is it? The E7
E7,
the E1, no, the E1 second place.
E1.
That's probably going to be Cincinnati or maybe NYCFC. I'm not sure who the Liga MX team is that's in that group, and if that's a strong team. No one in that group looks super weak to me. Now, like let's say we lose, then we're either playing Atlanta, DC, or Club Laguna Santos or Santos Laguna.
Yeah,
sorry,
I'm shooting for a second place out of our group.
Second place is actually better. Getting second place in our group and going on is actually better. But then it's just like, I'm telling you, man, it's the deeper you go in this tournament, the more deadly the opponents become, and that's the way it's like that. We saw that last year. We had a front row seat to it last year.
But if we can make it to the knockout round, and we get to play a DC or an Atlanta, and we can make it past them, then that's 3 matches prior to going back to league play, where we've got 3 wins, and then a 4th match, I guess, to try out some new things with BJ before we go down to league. So play.
You're looking for more experience.
I think we go down to Atlanta as our first game back.
So
if we do lose and play Atlanta or DC in the next round, do we get to count that in the Southern Championship or no?
No, that's not how
it should count. It should count. We're the current holders of the belt. We should be allowed to amend the rules.
No, that's not how that'll work.
Each current holder should add 1 rule every year.
1 rule.
I'll say this: when it comes to betting on this, if we're gonna take the bet, if anybody has ever played Texas Hold'em, what's the most dangerous hand that you can have that makes you think you have a good hand, but it might not be? When it comes to Texas Hold'em, what do you think, Austin?
Almost flush?
Nope.
Almost straight?
You get 2 cards in hand. What's your hand? What's the most dangerous hand to have?
Well, I feel like he's gonna say like
king high or ace high.
Huh? I feel like you're gonna say like 2 2s or whatever that's called.
Not quite. No, it's pocket queens. But queens. So 2 queens. And I feel like that's what we're entering into this with, because we've got some nice new things that are looking good that are coming in, but we are gonna have to go runner. We're gonna have to hit on the river. We're gonna have to hit on the turn. Like, we are gonna have to kill it in our first 2 games in Leagues Cup if we want to make it past anything. If we don't win against Mazatlan, we are not winning against the Revs.
Mazatlan.
Was it?
Well, of course. Of course.
Mazatlan.
I think the Revs already beat Mazatlan. So
yeah, they beat them 1-0 this last weekend, and it's just, we gotta know what we're getting into. So again, guys, make the bet. I want to hear what your thoughts are on this. We want to know where you're at when it comes to what you're betting on in league play. I'm betting on at least what's the over under on pitch invasions, guys? What do you think? Over under on pitch invasions.
Probably. Let's go with I think the last one was like 17.
18, right? But yes.
At the Club America game. 18.
Club America. Let's say the over under is what, 3.5?
We'll do 3
with at least one takedown by your favorite security. Capos.
Yeah. Yeah.
Allegedly.
Allegedly.
All right, guys. Well, that is gonna be a wrap. Austin, go ahead and take us out, man.
All right. Well, yeah, we're going to wrap this episode of Mixtape 615. So thank you guys for tuning in. Thanks for listening. Like Logan said, give us your comments. Baby. What do you think that Nashville's going to do during this Leagues Cup? What do you think that BJ, how do you think this coaching philosophy is going to do? We got Tunji taking over the special effects, so give him a shout out. Thank you. Thank you, Doug Branson, for giving us this sweet producer setup that we've got here, where Logan and Tunji can try to do a special effects off. If you're not watching on YouTube, then you need to check us out on YouTube and check us out on all of our socials, on Instagram, on Facebook, on X. You can find us at Mixtape 615, and like I said, on YouTube, you need to hit us up at Mixtape 615 Pod. But guys, we are closing this out, so keep it real, keep it vibing. Until next episode, Mixtape 615 signing off.